Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Ramadan tournament. PUBG Mobile Somalia. My name is the PTK Young Blood, but don't before bother name. I am not the young, but I am the man himself, the man Young Blood. After a very sweet, tantalizing evening yesterday, where the 23 Tony from the 23 Legion was able to amaze us with his solo skills and getting the chicken dinner for the 23 Legion. Today, we are in the final stage. Day number 2. Who will get that chicken dinner? Who will get that ultimate prize? Don't forget, if you're watching at home, make sure to get your popcorns ready. Like, subscribe, and do follow PUBG Mobile Somalia. And guys, I don't want to say much. Let's go straight to the game. First game of the evening, and that is the land of the originals, as Erangel. CB9. Yesterday, these guys were having quite some good time, some good evening, although the chicken dinner was far more short than what they were expecting. Today, we are expecting them to get at least a chicken dinner because I know they came prepared to get those chicken, but it's not going to be easy. Looking at all the teams that are in the building, we have Pain Africa trying to redeem themselves. A tactical team also on the chopping board. They have to do a lot for them to be able to end up on a very, very good clean slate. Looking at that plane path, moving from the Stalba area to the Solnoka military base, I think that is quite a perfect plane path because it cuts through some of the main regions. School is good. Pochinki, Pain Africa will be feeling the pain because Pochinki is far much farther from the plane path, but they still will be making that leap towards that area. But the plane path very, very good from the northern to the southern part. The first game of the evening. Just write in the comments who you think is gonna win the first game. Erangel. 4 games to be played, and these are the 4 games to determine who will be walking home with the cash and who will be walking home dashing around with the trash. It's not going to be easy, but they have to make those push. They have to get those early eliminations. They have to make sure that they got everything that is needed. ZT already in a very, very good fight. BPX already taking up 1 knock. Landing at the Sovnoka military base, but the virtual cycles, Edox already eliminated very, very early, but the X77, they have to be careful. Losing players these early in the game might prove to be very, very detrimental when it comes to their team mentality. X77, one of the best teams yesterday, getting quite some eliminations, and the BPX on the chopping board. They have a man each. BPX the 1 elimination. Edox was able to get the elimination, and Edox was also eliminated. And the X77 have to fight their way through the BPX. And I believe the BPX are from Kenya. And they have to be very, very composed. Fallen Ruthless currently second. Looking for those points already. Shakiri the 1 elimination with the S12K, and they go for this Crazy Esports. And Crazy Esports getting knocked, getting battered, getting bruised. Andy Kuz is coming for the action. He's coming for the crazy. Things are crazy, and he is far much crazier than they thought. Rashiano still with the 0. They're making the push. Kuz, a 2-man army, are pushing the crazy Young B. Young B is still holding the checkies. You have to be careful because they will be pushing as a duo. And as you know, the duos are very, very heated. As yesterday we saw from the 23 Legion, Tony and Amar, Rashiano and Kuz thinking of making the push. On the other end, we have the X77 fighting against the BPX. Shakid got the Brain Boy. Now I believe Crazy Young B is the only player remaining. Domination for Shakid with the 3 eliminations from the Crazy Esports. If Shakid is able to get another elimination, if he is able to get the Crazy Esports, he will be getting the first squad wipe of the evening. And Crazy Esports at the moment relentless, thinking about their actions. But that is just 8. Akuz gets the Crazy Young B, and they do get those 4 eliminations quite early in the game. GG's for the Fallen Ruthless are falling down. The Crazy Esports on the other end, you have the BPX Viper still trailing. Holding his spot. Already they got 2 players down. X77 have to be careful. BPX well composed with a very, very high ground and with a Groza, which has a very, very big fire rate than the M416. Honestly, I think Groza is one of the best weapons when it comes to the game. If I get to see a not a Groza, if I get a AUG, sorry, if I have an AUG, if I have to choose between an AUG and the M416, I would always go for the AUG because one, it has a very high fire rate than the M416. You know, it takes a lot of seconds for the M416 to finish one mark, but for the AUG, quite fast, quite fast. You know, when it comes to fights, those critical seconds, the ones that you're wasting reloading, you might get knocked. So the AUG is normally a very, very, very good weapon when it comes to these kinds of games. And the brutal psychos, they have the numbers, but they have to be careful because Mufazi has been waiting for that push. X77, BPX, a two-man army pushing the X77. Mufazi are still on the fence. 7-7 with a very, very good. That can be a good knock. X77 still with a 0. He didn't inflict a couple of damages, but unfortunately did not get that elimination. And everyone at the moment thinking of all their actions. Landing spots infected. A lot of teams fighting, losing critical players these early in the game. And these might prove to be quite a punch in the last seconds of the game. That is, if they are able to survive. Brutal Psychos, Revo, 77k, trying to cook up a good nade. Trying to get the Joker X77. And as we get that aerial perspective, we have Mufazi still waiting. And that is the guy providing cover for the X77. They know they don't have the numbers, so they're not going for the push. They are going for the hold. You have to know when to push and when to hold your position. X77, I think this guy had like 10 nades. How are those nades fitting in his backpack? And Mufazi does get the BPX Von, and that is what I was telling you from that good spot that Mufazi had. Mufazi got 2 players down, and the Brutal Cycles, only Viper remaining. Viper must fight, and Viper must sting. Still a 0. Viper got quite some damage. X77k. Viper, unfortunately, eliminated very, very early. I was not expecting him to get eliminated like that, but that was a very premature pick. And Mufazi does pick up the BPX with a very, very good 1v3. BPX Vaughn eliminated. He's the first person to be eliminated for the BPX. And the X77 down by the play zone. Team Unique also have a very, very good point to prove. The table is not looking very, very well for the Team Unique. Currently at number 17. And Arnos, I had a question, but Arnos just got the answer from the 70 esports. And the 70 esports also raised. And not by the Unique East. Team Unique still relentless. They won the eliminations. They won the points. And they do get that elimination. But they have not yet secured it. They are fighting against the ZT esports. ZT esports, fortunately, getting that good elimination. That was a very, very good elimination coming from the ZT. We have the Vision Codex. Yesterday, the Vision Codex, I believe they were able to get a chicken dinner. If I'm not wrong, they were able to get a chicken dinner. I have, I'll try to recall, but the Vision Codex, I'm not quite sure, but I don't think they got, but I think they got. So write in the comment section what you think happened or what you saw. Vision Codex are still with a 0, getting eliminated by the Ruthless team. Ruthless taking the 5 eliminations home. And the Vision Codex, they have to be quite careful as the Ruthless team is cruising as a squad. Ruthless, Rashiano trying to scout up. We have the Vision Codex, Joy Boy. And all of them are trying to get the plays on. Some fights you have to just avoid. Going for some fights that you are losing, that might prove to be very, very bad. Looking at the scoreboards, currently we have 50 players remaining, 14 teams in total. And with only 9 minutes into the game. BML Knight, Joker, We have the Dark Zone Esports. And the Dark Zone Esports, they are currently at position number 18. Yeah, position number 18 for the Dark Zone Esports, which is not quite what they were intending yesterday. Hopefully today they came with their game shoes. Hopefully today they came to win the game. Otherwise, for the DZ, currently with 0 points, it's going to be hard for them. But they're going for the push. And the DZ, one of the guys is down. Vampire, the one player trying to get that push. Farhan with the push. And the CB9s are getting pushed from every single direction. But the DZ, Farhan there, trying to get that revive. Vampire needs Molies. Unity of Nepal trying to get the third party, trying to close in. And the DZs are going for those nades. And no knock has been registered. The Vampire is down. DZ Ferreira, he has to be careful. Farhan, they're getting pushed. But the CB9, they have the advantage. But one of the CB9s is very, very low. And they're trying to make the rotation. Have to be careful. Unity of Nepal still holding. They are trying to get those that party, and the CB9 does get out of the elimination, and the DZ getting battered, getting bruised, and getting eliminated quite early in the game. The CB9 and the Joker, the only person laughing. Joker, the only person surviving. But Ofera does get the CB9. He was revived, didn't make a sound, and he did get that good elimination. Rashiano on the other end for real ruthless. They are having quite a game. The team that has the second most eliminations in the game number 1. Most eliminations going to the ZT with 6 eliminations already. Ruthless with the 5 eliminations, followed by the X 7-7 with the 4 eliminations. And it's quite early to judge, but you can't keep on saying that it's early. It's never too early. Just go for those knocks. Just go for those points. You might say that today is the day. No, you might say that tomorrow is the day. But you need to act now. And that should be the mentality that all of you guys have here. And most of the teams, they know that 23 Legion, we've not seen them in action, still trying to hold their spot and try to get those eliminations in the final minutes of the game. Pain Africa feeling the pain yesterday. Today, looking to get a couple of points and ultimately the chicken dinner. You know, we can't see, we've seen remontandas. Yesterday we saw a remontanda coming from the 23 Legion in the first game. They were eliminated very, very early. Not even reached the top 10. But today, yesterday, second game, third game, fourth game with the chicken dinner, that was quite some remontanda coming from the 23 Legion. And one of the key players, 23 Tony, is on the lookout in this day 2 of the Ramadan tournament. CB9's eliminated already. BPX out in the dark. Unique Esports, yeah, they are still in the cold. With 4 teams eliminated, it's anyone's game. The chicken dinner is still open to all. Yesterday we saw teams ZT. We had the 23 Legion, Unity of Nepal. They were able to get quite some good chicken dinners. Today I just want to get to see the teams. But I think, you know, guys, listen to me. Just try to understand me. These teams today, I think they are better than yesterday. And I'm expecting to get a new chicken dinner holder for the game number 1. A new chicken dinner. A team that did not get a chicken dinner yesterday. Let's wait and see if my hunches are true. But I trust in my hunches. I do trust in them. The zone shifting towards the Georgia Pool area. The northern west part of the map. Georgia Pool. This was one of the no-go-to areas when it comes to the OG players. You could never land at Georgia Pool. Georgia Pool was infested with more than 50 parachutes for the OGs that do remember that place. Ramadan Cup Grand Finals. This is the game number 5. Tactical team still holding their ground. A Unity of Nepal. Mode yesterday was quite incredible. Hunt is down and only 2 players remaining from the Unity of Nepal. Losing players right now for the Unity of Nepal, that is no chicken dinner unless they can be able to get a very, very big clutch. Vision of Codex trying to get the good spots in the play zone. Unity of Nepal almost eliminated. Quite some good sprays coming from the TDS, the Dragons of the South. Yesterday got a chicken dinner. They hoping to get even 2 or 3 chicken dinners. And guys, who do you think is gonna win today's tournament? Who do you think is gonna win this? Yo, everyone write in the comment section who you think is gonna win the first game of the evening. Let's start with the first game. Who do you think is gonna win the Erangel game? Unity Hunt with the 0 Unity Esports. They have a full squad, able to revive the players. Hunt was down, but Hunt the one the top fragger in the squad, and that's why he's moving, trying to look for those good spots. But he has to be careful. Moving in the open might prove to be very, very bad for him. Hunt almost eliminated, taking quite some shots, but hard-headed. Was able to repel them all. Shakid on the other end, down by the Pain Africa. Venom, Boney going for the 4-real ruthless team. And they do get Shakid. Shakid is out of the area. Ritzy Esports on the other end. Fights are just breaking loose. Rashiano down and only 1 player remaining from the fallen ruthless, with the 3 players falling ruthlessly. Rashiano the one that is down at the moment, and Iku's the only player remaining. Z-Team Minatorio eliminated. Yesterday was one of the MVPs. And we are getting vehicle eliminations at the moment. And I think today is going to be hotter. ZTs with a very, very good game yesterday. They're making the push, but the BMLs are going for the ZTs. And the ZTs again eliminated. Mustafa down and out. And the ZT Esports with only 2 players remaining. They have 8 eliminations total. Will they be engaging? Will they be going for the fight? I don't think they'll be going for the fight because they don't have the numbers. They need the placement points. With one of the best vehicles, that is the hovercraft. Rashiano eliminated very, very early. And 34 players remaining. 13 teams in total. And Tony goes for the push. The man of the match yesterday. 23 Tony. Tried some stellar stuff. He knows they are champions. They were champions yesterday and tried to champion his team to get those eliminations. At the RTZ, Rizzi trying to have very, very good spray. Aim got almost eliminated. BMLs are pushing. And he has to be careful. Tries to move, but unfortunately moves back to the lobby. BMLs are Knight getting those eliminations, pumping them all. And it's a do or die moment at the moment. Georgia Pool getting infested by the teams. Many enter, but few leave. There is no exit door, and the exit door is back to the lobby. And the teams, they do know it. Pain Africa still outside the play zone, are trying to hold the teams that are trying to enter right now. And the Pain Africa Mafioso does get another elimination. And they are farming those eliminations. Pain Africa more composed today than yesterday, with 3 eliminations already. And with a full squad at the moment. That is the Pain Africa. Team Unique, that is Unique was already eliminated. Unity of Nepal 6969. They still have that full squad. And at the moment, 23 Legions still leading. Yeah, for real, ruthless. They just need to get those placement points. And ultimately, maybe it's a couple of points and they can be able to match up against the 23 Legion. The number 1 is better than the number 2. You need to understand that at all costs. ZT, 8 eliminations already. The team that is currently leading in terms of eliminations. For real, Rudres are taking that second place. But we're just waiting for the action coming from the yesterday's leaders. That is the 23 Legion. Not yet engaged in a fight fully. Expecting to see them cascade and try to get as many eliminations as possible. Today, the 23 Legion are using quite a different strategy. Yesterday, they were all pushy. Today, they are all still and calm as they wait for the players to come to them. And they can be able to pick those easy eliminations. Trying to dominate the Highlands. BML with their eliminations. And Georgia Pool is looking quite not vacant. Yeah, teams are holding apartments from every single angle. 23 Legion almost eliminated by the BML Peligro. Pellegrini with quite some goal-like spray. Although no knock was registered, he was able to connect quite some shots. I know that is what you need. Connect quite some shots. At times you can't get those eliminations. Just try to connect the shots. Try to damage the enemy as much as you can. And they're going for the fight. They are going straight in. This is the BMLs and they are going straight and they do get those eliminations. Mufazi X77 eliminated and only one player remaining. That is the Joker X77. Has to be careful. Tries to throw that molly. The Joker trying to smoke the area. Joker trying to joke around. Joker. A ruthless eliminated Joker. The man that is remaining at the moment from the X77. And the BMLs are still heating up. And what a good knock! What a good knock! X77 does get a very, very good knock, but unfortunately does get eliminated by the Pain Africa. And Pain Africa feeling the pain. BML now does get that elimination. Murphy also down on his knees, praying and begging for mercy. But where is mercy coming from? The BMLs don't know any mercy. They just know carnage. They just know torment. And that is what they brought to the Pain Africa. With only one player remaining, Pain Africa has to be careful. Venom getting pushed. And Venom might be fighting so hard. Tony down by Venom. And Tony has been eliminated by the PN Venom. Quite a very rash play from Tony. Regretting his decision. Venom striking. And Venom did get the elimination. 23 Legion fought. 23 Amar was knocked. He knocked himself out. That was a grenade elimination, but they do get a very, very good knock, and they do take Pain Africa back to the lobby. Right now, 8 teams remaining. This is where the placement points are starting to count. Unity of Nepal looking for those knocks. They know they have the numbers. There are 4 of them. UN 6969, one of the player that has been knocked, going for the fight. Unity of Nepal and trying to get as many eliminations as possible. Amor does get a grenade elimination. And the tactical team trying to revive themselves. The fights have been tense. The fights have been hard for them. But this is quite a good game for the tactical team, because yesterday at this point, these guys were already eliminated. Tactical team has 14 points. They only have 14 points, which is unlike them. This is not the tactical team that I know of. Yeah, hopefully today we are going to see something different coming from the tactical team. More tactics, more knocks, more elimination, more placement points. Yeah, BML is almost eliminated, and the zone shifting and shrinking even smaller than it was at the moment, going towards the hilly area of the Georgia Pool. Northern part of Georgia Pool, and fights are breaking. Unity of Nepal still collecting those eliminations. And 23 Legion with the 5. Ruthless with the 5. ZT with the 9. Unity of Nepal with the 5 eliminations. And they are still surviving. They can add those eliminations. They have the numbers. And I think they're the only team that has 4 players. No other team has 4 players. Klaus eliminated by the Unity of Nepal. And our Vision Codex, these might be a GG's, because if a good nade is thrown here, Codex is down. And Sida is eliminated by the tactical, by the TDS, that is the Dragons of the South. They strike and they do get that elimination. Vision Codex eliminated. And what a good spray coming from the ZT Cabos, and he does get a good elimination. Unity of Nepal quite not believing what just happened. And these are the ZTs. Malex trying to get the Dragons of the South, trying to cut them in the open, just to open up their skulls and get those sweet eliminations. They know that someone might be watching. That's why they're trying to smoke as fast as they can. 23 Legion, they're going for the push. But Legion has been losing players. 23 Legion with only 3 players to their squad. ZT with only 2 players. 4 players coming from the Unity of Nepal. And finally the Dragons of the South with 3 players. That is a trio. ZT Matrix does get a good knock. And the Unity Esports, Unity of Nepal getting eliminated by the Play Zone. And these might not be their game. 23 Klaus and 23 Huncho. And finally the 23 Amar. 3 players from the 23 Legion trying to get that chicken dinner. And the 23 Legion might go for a second chicken dinner right now in the finals of the Ramadan tournament. A Unity of Nepal receiving quite some nades. And Amar might get a good knock. Unfortunately, not able to connect, but this one might connect and might be a good night. Unfortunately, the nade was far too fetched. The distance was far too long. And Amar still holds his position. He knows that he can get this elimination. Zeti Kabos. They have to be careful. Zeti Matrix. They are being watched by everyone. Amar, the one that is causing all the trouble. Take out Amar and you can be able to get to the play zone. But if you cannot take out Amar, that is a game over. So right now, most probability going to the 23 Legion of winning this game. Their time to shine has come. Having lost Tony very, very early. But Amar's got this. Zeti Matrix, they have to go to the play zone. Only one player is in the play zone, and that is the 23 Amar. So all the players will be rushing towards the play zone, but will be hard. The best thing is that Matrix has a good vehicle. They just need to make the push. Try to dissociate the 23 Amar, and they're going for the push, and they have to be careful. Unity of Nepal are also there. And a 23 Amar does get that elimination. And the 23 Legion, they're getting the elimination. 23 Legion, they do clinch those points. And the ZTs are out. Only one player stands on the way of the 23 Legion. Amar with a very big grenade. And this is the unity of Nepal. Namod has to be careful. Amar goes for the push. And Amar does get the elimination. This is the 23 Amar from the 23 Legion, having made that jump shot and got one of the best clips ever. That is a clip from the 23 Legion on their way cruising around with a second chicken dinner. And this is a second consecutive, because yesterday they were the last team to get the chicken dinner. Can they get a trio? But the 23 Legion came at the so, and they do get that good elimination. And the 23 Amar, that was teamwork. That was some awesome action coming from the 23 Legion. And looking at how these guys played, I believe if they're gonna play 2 more games like this, it is sealed. 23 Legion are gonna be champions. And one of their best players, that is the 23 Amar. Very, very confident that they had the numbers. Amar with the 4 eliminations, Huncho with the 4. So there are like 8 eliminations, 2 players, Klaus with the 0, and finally Tony with the 1 elimination. The best thing about Klaus is Klaus was going for that assist, and that is what he got with more than 300 damage. Klaus is that player that you need in your squad, always being there, taking the good spots, trying to make the enemies soft for you. And the 23 Legion head to head versus the ZTs, they do get the 9 eliminations, but the most eliminations coming from the ZTs with 13 eliminations, hitting double digits in the first game of the second day. In terms of damage, ZTs, they do dominate. In terms of knocks, the ZTs. So the ZTs, they won there in terms of stats, in terms of head to head, they did win. But in terms of the chicken dinner, the 23 Legion, they take the win home. A very, very good strike for the 23 Legion. Setting the pace, setting the tempo. And the match MVP, that is the ZTE Matrix, who had the most eliminations. That is 5 eliminations in the game. The total damage of 600. That is quite insane. The ZTs, honestly, they deserved a chicken dinner. But you know what made them not get the chicken dinner? Yeah, the zone. That's why most of the times you just have to ensure that you are in the play zone as early as you can. Secure the play zone, then take on the fight. And that is what the 23 Amar was able to do. And for the top players, we have Matrix, the 5 eliminations. Quite a very, very good game for Matrix, with Kabos also getting the 5, BML Knight, 4 eliminations, Amar with the 4, and finally Ahmad with the 3. Talking about the BML Knight, yesterday BML Knight was a very, very critical player for the BMLs, getting more than 5 eliminations also yesterday. And that was quite a very, very good thing to see. And replicating that in today's game, that is absolutely outrageous from the BML Knight. And for the match rankings in the day number 2, 23 Legions take the 19 points. You know, I was talking about the ZTs. They won in terms of statistics. That is why they have 18 points. If it was not for the second place, these guys they would have gotten a lot of points here. Unity of the Pal taking the number 3. And we are seeing the teams at number 18, number 17, and the Crazy Esports. There's those Kenya Horrors and the Crazy Esports not able to make move in this game. And that was the game number one, the game of the OGs. And Amar still adding up those points in terms of the eliminations, going for the MVP position. 23 Amar with the 20 eliminations and 6 assists. So 23 Amar is a complete player. When it comes to the eliminations, he is there. And when it comes to the assist, he is also one of the best because the most assists coming from the 23 Tony with the 7 assists. The top player, BML Knight, also closing in with the 15 elimination. Shakid with the 14, Ahmad with the 12. And Shakid was able to pull a 1v3 today, which was quite nice to witness for the fallen ruthless. Though they were not able to get to the chicken dinner phase, ruthless, they did put up the fight, but unfortunately, they will be heading to the number 3 spot, falling close for falling because of the ZT esports, who they cruise to the number 2 position. And that is the difference between one game. ZT esports, they got 18 points. 18 points. If you take the 53, you remove, you minus the 18 points, you get to know the kind of position that these guys were in. They were closely not in the top. Were they in the top? Yeah, I think they were in the top 7. Yeah, but at the moment they were able to get quite some good points. And we have the fallen ruthless. 20 Legion still expanding the gap with the 76 points. Team Unique holding the last place. Dark Zone Esports seeing some dark nights, and that is not the BML Night Dark Zone. The games are not looking good for them. They have to come back strong in the second game of the evening. First game has been Erangel. Second game, we are going to Rondo. Who will win the chicken dinner for the game number 2? And the 23 Legion, they are actually replicating all the results that they had yesterday. They got a chicken dinner with only 2 players. Today, they got the chicken dinner with a full squad. But although 3 players were the only survivors, the 23 Legion, they are going for the chicken dinner and they are going for the ultimate points, trying to widen the gap so that these teams cannot be able to get closer to them. And that was the first game of the evening. I just can't wait to see the game number 2. And don't forget, guys, don't change the dial, like the live stream. This is the PUBG Mobile Somalia, and this is the Somalia Ramadan Cup. See you in just a few seconds. Welcome back to the second game of the evening. This is the PUBG Mobile Somalia Ramadan Cup, the day number 2 for the grand finale. And the game number 2, which is a Rondo, with quite a very, can I say, semi plain path moving, cutting across half of a Rondo, moving from the west part, moving from the east to the west, just like the sunrise. PN Africa. Yeah, already the first team to take that easy jump. But it's gonna be changing. The tides are changing at the moment. Expect you to see teams like the Desdos, teams that are at the bottom of the table. We have unique esports. We are looking forward to see them trying to clutch and ultimately getting quite some good points in this game. And already we have the fight and Ritzy already raising up the load with 2 eliminations already, having lost 2 players. And the final player remaining from the Rizzi from that region. Rizzi have to be careful. Losing players right now will be very tricky. But the best thing about Rondo is the recalls. So even if you lose the players, you can still get recalled back to the lobby. That is why Rondo is very hot, and you have to utilize every single piece of Rondo, the destructible terrain, the weapons. You have to be careful of the EMP zone. And the zone shifting towards the eastern part of the Pan Africa side. Brutal Psychos won in a very heated fight. They lost the fight in the Erangel game, but right now they're not even planning to lose the fight. Already they have the 2 eliminations. The fighting against the 23 Legion, 23 Klaus, falling ruthless, falling down ruthlessly. And Rashiano does go for the push. Rashiano has to be careful because Codex is there. And Codex is ready for the fight. Codex versus Rashiano. And Rashiano unfortunately gets knocked and eliminated Shakida. They're going for the push. Shakida trying to get the Vico. That is a ruthless esports going for the Vision Codex. And the Vision Codex annihilated. If the Vision Codex are eliminated in these hot drop, the Vision Codex, their game is a GG's for the second match. And the TDS, the Dragons of the South, today they have to make the rolls. Today they have to bring the fire. Otherwise, the fire is going to be raining down their heads. Ammo, firepower, TDS, a finish. Not getting quite some good eliminations today, but the BPX is there, and they know that these guys here, and the TDS is not afraid of anyone. TDS almost got the elimination. TDS goes for the elimination, and he does get the elimination. TDS, a 1v2, is it possible with the DP28 fighting against the BPX team? And he goes for the push, and he does get the knock. Oh my word! 1v2. It never gets sweeter than that. It never gets better than what we just saw from the Dragons of the South, clutching against the BPX. And the BPX, they have to avoid at much cost losing these kinds of fights. And the DP28 are used to the maximum. On the BML, a CR9 trying to heal up, but I don't think these will be enough at getting naded very low. And they need to make the push, and they need to make the push right now as he tries to heal. He cancels the healing. Very low at the moment. Tries to get the roof and tries to get the heals. But these might be exposing him to the other teams that are in this vicinity, because the ZTs, they have the position. ZTs, they have the numbers. ZTs, they are here. And they are waiting for the BML player to just make that stride. Try to make the push, and they can just pick him up like mangoes. And the BMLs with 2 eliminations already. ZT currently at number 2 with 4 eliminations already. ZTs are ruthless today. BML Knight eliminated by the ZTs, and the ZTs are going for the number 1. If the 23 Legion are not careful enough, I believe for a fact that the ZTs can be able to get to where the 23 Legion are. It's just a matter of time, just a matter of moments. So the 23 Legion, they have to be careful. CB9 on the other end are getting butchered. DZ Vampire getting that elimination. The DZ are waking up. They were sleeping giants, waking up from the beauty sleep. Yeah, to find that they are in a literal hell. With 1 elimination already. DZ, we have the Rizzi Esports with 3 eliminations. X77 with the 2 eliminations. and it's anyone's game. Rondo is a very, very peculiar. This is the one of the only maps where in the last zone you have full squads of players. And Arman going for the push from the crazy esports. Crazy esports going crazy. A very good nade. And Arman almost eliminated. No, Ahmad downed. And the crazy esports, they are getting butchered, cluttered. And only one guy from the crazy esports is remaining. And that is the Ice Cut. And Ice Cut might be at the recall. And he does get that recall. And this is one of the best tactics to use when it comes to the esports games in a Rondo. Let the team go fight. Yeah, let the team go fight, and then you just remain at the recall. Like 3 go for the fight and 1 goes to the recall. In such a way, if the 3 are eliminated, the 1 at the recall is able to recall them. And if the 3 dominate, that means they have the most elimination points. 23 Klaus eliminated, and the 23 Legion at the moment is 4 eliminations. Unity of Nepal, having not had the game of their lifetime of fighting versus the Death Those Kenya. Death Those, they have to be careful. Unity of Nepal goes to the push, but unfortunately the Death Those glitching out the Unity of Nepal player. And Abi suffering, Abi getting knocked. BMLs are getting downed. Be my loot, giving those eliminations. Be my loot, be my elimination. BMLs on the other end, ZT Imatex gets that grenade elimination, and they are cruising through. ZT is already with the 6th elimination, and if they keep up the good form, ZTs are going to get good points and ultimately match up against the 23 Legion. They have the chance of a lifetime. They have a full squad. Crazy esport Amar. Amar Sony, that is one of the few players remaining. They have 2 players fighting against the Ritzy. Smoke are trying to smoke. Arman getting bunched. Oh my goodness me. Oh my, what the Ritzy esports coming as a full squad, and Arman cannot believe what just happened. He made the shots fast, but he got the shots fast. There's a big difference. He asked for the fight and he got the fight. It's never easy in these tournaments. Have that composure. Wait for your ultimate and opportune point. Crazy esport Ice Cut iced out by the RTZ Tracer, who traced him back to the lobby. And with 10 elimination, Ritzy are looking very good. Rondo has been theirs. They need to make the push right now. They need to go for those push because they have the whole team. They dominated the hot drop. 10 eliminations for the Ritzy. Just go for the push, get those eliminations, and get that chicken dinner, and that is how they can be able to. Bro, if Ritzy get a chicken dinner in this game, with how the game is looking, let's assume that they're not going to get even a single elimination. Ritzy are going to get 20 points if they get the chicken dinner. But if they can be able to add up 5 more eliminations and get the chicken dinner, that is 25 points. And that will elevate them to the number 2 if the table sticks to how it is right now. So it's very close. It's very close. It is not over until it is over. But for Ofera, it is over. Getting knocked by the BPX. But getting like double-digit points, like it makes the table look very nice for your team. And back shots, front shots, teams are taken back to the lobby in very unfamiliar fashion. Training for 100 days and getting a whooping in 1 minute. The games are not fair, but we have to have a winner. RTZ with 12 eliminations. And look at this. They are still cruising. If they get like 3 more eliminations, that is 15. Okay, let's assume they get 10, they get 8 more eliminations. That is 20 eliminations plus a chicken dinner. That is 30 points. That is a very solid number 2. A very solid number 2. 23 Huncho. We have the BMLs. The top guy being the CR9, a part of the CR7. The BMLs, they have the CR9. 23 Legion getting cluttered and eliminated very fast. And Klaus with the wrong Klaus eliminated. Quite a very, very good strike from the BMLs, taking Klaus down from quite some distance. And with only 3 players, that is Tony, Amar, Poncho, can they be able to take that chicken dinner in a row? That is a trio chicken dinner. I don't believe any other team has been able to do that. They stand in the record-breaking attempt for the trio chicken dinner. So the chicken dinner for the 23 Legion will prove to be a very big, drastic step, because that is a record and that is a big leap in the number 1. And if you're watching the stream, don't forget, give the stream a like. TikTok, we are expecting to hit 100k likes. So if you're watching the stream, kindly tap the screen. YouTube, that is PUBG Mobile Somalia. Ensure that you have liked the stream. Let's get more than 100 likes on YouTube. And all the social handles, PUBG Mobile Somalia, Deathos Kenya. We have the Dose Sema. They have 7 eliminations. In the previous game, they got 0. I don't believe they were able to join the game. Already with the 7 eliminations, Deathos Kenya looking very, very composed. Horus Virus with the player called the Whiskey that got the 1v3 versus the 23 Legion yesterday. Quite some good spray, but the RTZ Tracer not going down. You have to make the connections via the headshots, and Tracer still getting traced and still relentlessly surviving. Yeah, but Tracer with the 3 eliminations. The games are becoming hotter than normal. RTZ Smoke with one of the guys eliminated. That is Krishna. Pain Africa at a very, very bad spot with number 18. Yeah, not what they were expecting in this finale. Fallen ruthless and fallen ruthlessly. And might be taken back to the lobby. Yeah, they have been taken back to the lobby. Fallen Ruthless, they are down. They still fumble a second game in a row. And if this happens, Fallen Ruthless have to say bye-bye to the number 3. If the Unity of Nepal gets some good placement points, they do get the, let's say they get the chicken dinner, or maybe, let's say like a couple of points, they will be holding up to the Fallen Ruthless, who currently have 52 points. Unity of Nepal with 47. And the Unity of Nepal, their window has just opened to make that top 3 dream possible. Whiskey, one of the most ruthless players around. VC, Vision Codex, fighting against the tactical team. The tactical team, they've not had the game of a lifetime, but they're trying to get that very, very good chicken dinner. They've not been able to get a chicken dinner. Quite unfortunate for the tactical team. And most of the teams here are not able to get the chicken dinner because only, how many teams have gotten the chicken dinner? I think 4 teams only. Yeah, the rest 18, they just have been all up and about. Those Kenya, those Toyota has the 1 elimination full squad with 8 eliminations already. Yeah, those Kenya, well composed. They have the utilities, they have the loot. They have the mindset. I know they just need the points. Tactical team, they do get a very, very good knock, but also suffering casualties because Kevin is one of the few players remaining from the tactical team. Stone is very, very low. Oh, Stone is out, and Kevin is the last person surviving. Vision Codex trying to throw a good nade, and Kevin has to be careful. The nade was casted, and Kevin saw the nade, but unfortunately, there was nothing that he could do than just watch the nade get him down. And oh, what a good knock! Oh my goodness, I was not expecting the knock, and that was a perfect spray. And this might be a second spray for the VC Flawless. And the BPX Vaughn eliminated very, very early. BPX Viper with the 1 elimination, trying to smoke up, trying to get the BPX Edox. And the BPX Revo smoking up as much as he can. Pain Venom with a grenade eliminations. BML Knight with the 1 elimination. And Pfizer breaking loose. These are the last moments of the game. Zeti Esports with 7 eliminations already. Unity of Nepal fighting against the 23 Legion. And Legion, they are pushing. Legion, they are making a back cruise in. A Unity of Nepal almost going across the number. Unfortunately, the 23 Legion, they are very, very good when it comes to these 1v1s. Ahmad, the final player remaining, will he be able to provide a remontada for the Unity of Nepal? Unified in the game, unified in the squad, and also unified in the lobby. A Vision Codex, the third party that takes down the Unity of Nepal home with just 2 players. Right now they have 3 players. They did get that recall. They do get the 6 eliminations counting 23 Legion with only 1 player remaining. And the number 1 is open for the ZTs. The ZTs, they just need to get that chicken dinner and they will get closer to the 23 Legion. Legion, 1 player, but is the 1 player enough? Is that the 23 Tony? That is the question. Yesterday, they were able to do quite some good job with the 1 player. Pain Mafioso still survives. And the zone going towards the factory area. The bridge will be a campsite for a lot of snakes. Yeah, Zetica boss trying to get the play zone. They're trying to hold as much as they can. At the moment is who is where. And that is how you win the game. Who is where and at what point are they there? Huncho, the final player remaining from the 23 Legion, trying to play it in the play zone. Has to be careful getting pushed about the Pain Africa players. But the Pain Africa have to be careful taking a knock. And Huncho did get one player, but unfortunately the back shots did quite some damage to Huncho. Pain Africa, the zone is killing them. BMLs, they have 9 eliminations. This being one of their best games. Yesterday, Knight got the 5 eliminations, and Knight is trying to add up the numbers. Knight already has the 1 elimination, but unfortunately, he cannot add the top players. The MVP creeping out of his grasp. Pain Venom. And 7 teams remain. ZT Esports currently at 2nd place. Ritzy eliminated. We have the BMLs. We have the X77. We have the Vision Codex, Death, Those Kenya, Pain Africa, and finally the BPX. These are the number of players, a number of teams that are still surviving. 20 players remaining. Yeah, who will get the chicken dinner? Still the action is raining. BMLs executed and eliminated. Not expecting to see that. And look at that good spray from Minatorio, almost getting the BPX players. And the BPX, they are falling casualties of these sprays. I don't understand why that is happening. Death Those Kenya are getting sprayed from every single angle. And Zeti Minatorio getting down by the VC Joyboy. And Joyboy at the moment are very, very flashy. Getting those eliminations. Vision Codex has been one of the better teams today. BPX, Kevo, they're trying to get the play zone. Their vehicle exploded already, trying to create cover. And the best thing about Rondo is that destructible terrain. Whenever you don't have cover, just throw a nade and you will create an automatic cover for you. Or throw the stumbling blocks and you have the cover that you did not have. 23 Legion eliminated. For how many teams that is? 5 teams in total. X77, Vision Codex, Death Those Kenya. We have Pain African, finally the BPX. 15 players and 2 teams with a full squad. Death Those Kenya, X77, Vision Codex with a trio. And Pain Africa and the BPX harboring that duo. Will this game become the game for the Pain Africa to get their first chicken dinner? Or will it be the graveyard for these players? Pain Africa, Death Those Kenya with the numbers. Glitch already with the 4 eliminations and looking to top up those numbers. Death Those Glitzy with a very, very good spray. Toyota, they're trying to hold the play zone. Circle closing in a few seconds. And the games will be on. Brutal Cycles getting the Pain era, and only 1 player from the Pain Africa is remaining, and that is Mafioso. Rampage BP Rev, 5 eliminations. That guy has been on a kill spree. And with five teams remaining, Pain Africa with one player, Dedos Kenya, they are still dominating. BPX, Viper eliminated by the play zone. But the Dedos, they are inflicting the dose. They are getting these players. They have the good sports, they have the vehicle, they have the utility, they have the loot, they have everything. Right now, they just need to get those eliminations pumping. BPX River is trying to get that spray. And unfortunately, the play zone is too much for the guy. X77 VC Flawless is down, fighting against the VCs, and the VCs are more fuzzy. One of the final players remaining from the X77, Joy Boy, has a lot of joy. The only player remaining from the VC, and he does get the Mufazi. Mufazi eliminated at a very, very good nade. They're trying to get Joy Boy. And Joy Boy might be eliminated, but that perfect nade, Joy Boy is very, very low. And another name might prove to be the point of distraction for the VCs. And the Deadlifts Kenya, they have their hand, they have the opportunity, they need to go for the push, they have the numbers. And Deadlifts Kenya with 4 players make that 3 at the moment. Deadlifts Glitch eliminated. A 3v3 battle, but they have the advantage because the VCs, they are suffering casualties. They're trying their best to get those revives, and they do get the revives. A 3v3 battle at the Deadlifts Kenya. Will they be able to provide a remontada vision codex? Already with the one elimination, they're trying to get to the very, very sweet spots. But the Deadlifts Kenya, they're going to take those angles, trying to create the choke point so that they may catch the VCs out of hand. While they are not very, very talented. But at the Deadlifts Glitzy almost eliminated by quite a very, very good smash over Molotov. At the Deadlifts Kenya, nades are coming from the VCs. Vision Codex, the Vision Codex with the 2 knocks, and only 1 player from the Deadlifts is remaining. Sorry, that is a winner chicken dinner for the Vision Codex. They had the revision, they made the revision, and they made the chicken dinner happen. This is the Vision Codex. A very, very good chicken dinner. Oh my word. That was quite some fling. Those were quite some kicks. That was the ultimate chicken dinner for the Vision Codex. They did not have the numbers. They were very, very damaged, but they had the vision to get the chicken dinner. They came for the chicken, and they did get the chicken dinner. From the blink of despair, they came and they took the chicken with only 3 players joined in that game. And the 3 players survived till the very end. Talk about teamwork. The Vision Codex is an emulator of that, with all the players getting eliminations, with their top boy, Joy Boy, who was very, very happy for that game. 8 eliminations for the Joy Boy. Isida with 2. And finally, we have the Flawless with 4 eliminations. And they got 14 eliminations total. Yeah, 14 eliminations total. So quite crazy in the game number 2. And at least we have some new chicken dinner holders with 14 eliminations and a chicken dinner that is close to 25 points. That is 24 points to be specific. Those were very, very incredible. They almost got the chicken and are going head to head versus the Vision Codex. Those the Vision Codex, they are able to dominate in terms of eliminations. They dominated in terms of the total damages with 2,300, close to 2,400. They dominated in the total heals, and they tried when it comes to the total knocks with 12 knocks for the Vision Codex and 12 knocks for the Those Kenya. And the Those today, I think if they play the first game, these guys would have made something different. Remontanda for the MVP of the second game. We have the VC Joy Boy getting the 8 eliminations, more than 1,000 total damage. That was the man that cruised towards the X77, went for them, and he did get those eliminations. X77 didn't see the guy coming, but he definitely came to the aid of his teammates. For the top players, Joy Boy being the main man with 8 eliminations and 4 assists. So this is a very, very complete player. And in terms of the overall rankings, I think we have a new man on the list. Those Glitzy with the 5 eliminations, that was a good game for the Those Kenya. We had the Vision Codex with 24 points in that game. Ritzy with the 15, Brutal Psychos with the 13, And we have seen a very very big change because the teams that were used to dominate, they did not dominate here. 23 Legion didn't dominate. We have Ruthless didn't dominate as much. We have the Unity of Nepal also, X77 also not dominating. So that was quite a turnaround for the Vision Codex, Dead Those Kenya, Ritzi, and the Brutal Cycles. That was a very, very good game for these teams. And that would be causing quite a punch in the final table for the most eliminations for the top players of the tournament. We have Amar still holding the number one, still unmatched. He has 22 points, but he has to be careful. Tony is still creeping through. He's still closing in. Now to the 16, Shakid still holding, and 15 eliminations for Shakid. Not able to add an elimination here. Ahmad with 14. These are the top 5 players of the grand finale. Quite some good points for them. But Amar, I don't know. Are we going to get someone that can match Amar? I need to get someone that can match Amar. 23 Legion, they still add points to their total. 85 total for the 23 Legion. ZT Esports with 62. We have the Fallen Ruthless, almost falling shy to the number 4. But look at how the Vision Codex and the Unity of Nepal are closing in with 52 points. If they get 3 points, they get to the Fallen Ruthless. Dragons of the South still trailing. Ritzi coming to the number 7. So quite some improvement for the Ritzi, having gotten quite some good eliminations, double digits in the Rondo game. Dags on Esports, Team Unique, not having the time of a lifetime. This is hell for the Team Unique. Unique in their own aspects, and unique in that number 18. And this is not where the Team Unique they want it to be, but they are there. The first game, 23 Legion, they took the win with the 19 points. Second game, we have the Vision Codex in Rondo. And that game, we are going to Miramar. And I hope you guys are enjoying every single action that is happening, because this has been hot. And looking at the Vision Codex, the kind of gameplay that they brought, the kind of chicken dinner they were able to get, that means that we have a fight. It's not one sided anymore. 23 Legion, they were cruising in very, very smoothly. But at the moment, Vision Codex, they are there. 23 Legion, the ZTs are just watching closely. They have to be careful. Otherwise, it might be a night for the 23 Legion. Game number 3 coming in just a few seconds. Like the live stream. And this is PUBG Mobile Somalia Ramadan Cup. See you in just a few. M24s, but mostly the most beloved long range is the Mini 14, which is normally quite incredible. Yeah, Mini 14, one of the best guns in the game. And guys, welcome back to the live stream. I hope you guys are enjoying everything. Don't forget to give the stream a like and a subscribe. Just some slight technical issues. You know, technology is made by man, and you have to acknowledge that fact. But we are on. This is the third game of the evening. Miramar, with quite some teams already taking the blunt. BPX already taking the blunt. Ritzi was very, very good in the previous game, but getting cluttered and taken back to the lobby in quite some unfamiliar fashion. I don't believe that this is happening, but you know, at times we just have to believe the inevitable. Those Kenya with the remontada previous game, able to get almost the chicken dinner. Unfortunately, not able to get the chicken as intended, but that was a very, very good game for the Those Kenya. And they just need to clinch a chicken dinner and they will be cruising through. Yeah, those Sema already with the 2 eliminations. A Glitch has already been eliminated. I think Glitch was the one that was eliminated the first, but I'm not sure. Maybe Glitch or Glixi. Yeah, quite some very, very similar names with a very different people. And the game is moving smoothly. Pain Africa moving in the top 11. And at least today we have some progress from the Pain Africa. Yesterday they were not moving, but today a bit cruising through. They need a couple of more eliminations and ultimately get those placement points for them to have a better chance of getting to the top 10 at the moment, making the push up. Pain Venom with the Venom, and Pain Venom almost took the knock, but unfortunately Venom could not instill that dose of venom. Stung by Flawless, and Flawless just got a very easy elimination and is going through for those eliminations. Flawless with the DBS. Flawless against the Pain Africa. Pain Africa have to be careful, and Flawless against the Pain Boney. A 1v1 loading and a 1v3 for Boney, but unfortunately was eliminated. Flawless, he tried the 1v3 clutch, but unfortunately not fortunate enough to make the Pain get that suffer. Because, you know, if you get like a 1v3 against the team, that is like a silencer. You put a silencer to a gun and you silence the bullets. But the silencer here that you're putting is not for silencing the bullet, it's for silencing the teams. Once you get like a 1v3, you get that aura, you get that much anticipated gamer. This is the TDS fighting against the X77. X77 are trying their best to get the TDS finish. Almost got the knock, and he does get the knock. Joker not joking around. I tried to laugh, but who's laughing now? X77 Esports save knocks. Tries to get the finish. He did get the knock. Yan is trying to get the finish. And it's a matter of time. These guys are pushing X77 Esports. They know the fight is coming and they are very ready for the fight. Finish eliminated. X77 Esports adding them numbers. They have the one elimination. Finish was eliminated. The TDS Zensu today has not been that active. Needs to be very, very proactive. Whiskey eliminated. Today the 1v3s are not coming. 23 Legion holding their position, holding the Highlands. And the mentality is still changing. Each and every game coming up with a new tactic. Each and every game just some new things so that they may have the advantage. 23 Tony, the man of the hour yesterday. We have Ruthless Esports. Rashiano almost rushed back to the lobby. Zeti Esports are pushing the Fallen. Ruthless And Ruthless will be suffering a couple of knocks at the moment because they don't have the numbers. And the ZTs, they have the numbers. They're pushing a 4-man army. And only one player from the Ruthless team is remaining. Rashiano almost rushed to the lobby. Rashiano, Nays coming his way. Rashiano just waiting for him. Rashiano. Can he make a 1v4? Rashiano. Very, very confident in his gameplay. But a 1v4 is quite an impossible feature to do when it comes to these kind of games. Rashiano again, Ruthless falling short. Yesterday they were getting the top 4, top 3, top 2, but today they are not even making it to the top 10s. Currently eliminated as the team number 7. Is it the team number 17? Yeah, I think the team number 17. Quite crazy, man. Quite crazy. No, the team number 13, sorry. ZT Esports, if they get quite some good points from this game, they will be closing the gap between them and the 23 Legion. And already they have 4 eliminations. 23 Legion, they get another elimination, trying to make sure that the ZTs don't close the gap between them. VCs on the other end, they already have the 4 eliminations going down, flawless down the limit. And the Vision Codex tries to throw the nade, almost eliminated. Tries to cook up the nades. ZTs are suffering casualties after casualties. Vision Codex not seeing the vision. That was a very, very good spray, but unfortunately not able to get the clean connection. Almost taking back the lobby, but that is a good knock. X77, they got Kubos from the third party, and they also got Mustafa. And this is a successful third party from the X77. These might be easy for them. Matrix with the 3 elimination. X77. They need to get these eliminations pumping, and the 23 Legion are smiling at the moment. Ruthless are smiling. VCs are smiling because if the ZTs are eliminated right now, that means that the top 4 teams, only one team will be remaining, and that is the 23 Legion. But they are not relentless. They are not giving up. Matrix does get that elimination. And the X77 rethinking about their career choices. X77. It could have been a florist. Yeah, packaging flowers for Valentine's Day, but instead they are in the tournament getting whooped. And the tactical team with the third party trying to get all those eliminations. Mostly like free eliminations for them. Tactical team, Doma Stone. KO, they need to go for the ZTs. The ZTs, they don't have loot. They don't have numbers. Tactical team has all of them. It's a trio versus a duo. The tactical team not seemingly interested in that fight. And the ZTs, they still breathe a sigh of relief. I don't know how the ZTs are surviving because they were at the center of it all. All the fights were happening there. X77, they got the early knocks. They got the ZTs, 2 of their players taken down. We had the VCs, ZTs also fought with that team. So the ZTs have been fighting with a lot of teams in this game, having gotten a couple of eliminations, although not able to get the needed dust. They got the VCs right, but when it comes to the X77, only 1 elimination being held by the TTs, which was a good sign. TTs were coming to make that party. Unfortunately, not able to get all the teams. They only got the X77 player, and the BMLs are still cruising. The zone still shifting, and the game still not over. Crazy Esports, today they have been having one of the craziest times of their lifetimes, not getting eliminations, not getting the placement points. If they lose it right now, the table will be very, very bad for the Crazy Esports. Because looking at the table right now, Crazy Esports, they have a total of 18 points. Get those Kenya, Toyota almost eliminated, but quite some good Cover fire. Deathlos Kenya Cliffy go for the push, but unfortunately Askat, as he was trying to escape, there is no going anywhere, boy. Crazy, you wanted crazy, I give you psycho. Sweet but psycho. Sweet, but the tempers are running high. A tactical team. Sako closing in a few seconds. 26 players remaining, 11 teams in total. And TTs are going for the push. TTs Mikayo with a nade. Tony Mabi knocked. Tony is down by a stone. And the third parties are not coming now. 23 Legion. The gap is closing. 23 Clouds also getting knocked. And only one player from the 23 Legion is remaining. Tony eliminated. Amar eliminated. And Huncho, the final player, surviving in this 23 Legion team. He does not go for the push because he does not have the numbers. The tactical team, they were superb. A two-man army, a two-man job, and they made the 23 Legion suffer. Oh, so, yeah. Yeah, one player remaining for the 23 Legion. Although I saw that wrong. And the numbers are shifting drastically. 21 players remaining. A new chicken dinner holder is coming in this game because the VCs have already been eliminated, not able to get a second chicken dinner. With the 23 Legion be able to get that chicken dinner. Not in a row this time, just a third chicken dinner. But with only one player, the chances are very, very slightly minimal. Close to zero chances, zero possibility of winning the game. TDS Zenso with quite some spray. And he does get the Horrors Esports, Horrors Virus treated and manifested back to the lobby. A hunter from the Unity of Nepal fighting against the whole TDS team. A one-man army, a one-man job, and a one-man go back to the lobby. Zitu Zensu also eliminated by the third party, but the Unity of Nepal. They had them shots in, they had them questions, but they did not get the answers. They go mesmerized. A Knight almost eliminated. That was a very, very good nade. 23 Legion have been eliminated by the tactical team. And the tactical, they have this is their best game. Honestly, the tactical team, they've not been able to perform as they are performing right now. Currently with 8 eliminations to their tally. Tactical team, they're just trying to get to the safe spots, to the high areas, high ridges, to at least try and get those angles. If they get the angles, they can be able to get the points. And if they have the points, they can be able to close the table. Currently, the table is open for the top one, from the top 1 to the top 6. If the BMLs can be able to get quite some good points, they will get to the number 6. Look at the point difference. BMLs, they just need like some good quality points in this game for them to be able, they can even get to the top 3. They can even go to the top 3. Looking at how they're performing, currently they have 3 eliminations. If they get the chicken dinner like 10 points, and they also bag like 5 more points from the eliminations, they will get to the number 3. But they have to be composed. X77 Groza is the final player remaining from the X77, and is feeling the pressure. Down on his knees, but down he does not want to go. And the zone shifting, and it's all just a matter of seconds. Most of the players are in the play zone. TT Thomas getting pushed by the crazy esports, and a crazy young B has to be crazy to be pushing like that, but he has the composure of a lion, and he's attacking also like a lion, brave, but the bravery has been taken back to the lobby. Thomas clutching a crazy esports young B. At the moment, they are getting one hell of a beating. A crazy Arman also downed. And the tactical team, they are very well composed. So that is the BMLs. Tactical team are also fighting. But the BMLs, they're adding those eliminations. TT Thomas with a good strike. 7 eliminations, but TT is eliminated by the BMLs, and the BMLs are looking to get the chicken dinner with 7 eliminations already. BMLs, they have the higher chances of getting the chicken dinner with a 4-man army fighting against the ZT, fighting against the X77. It's a 4v2v1 situations, and the BMLs are cruising to the number 3 position. BMLs, this is the time to shine. ZT's Matrix has to be careful as he's fighting against a full team Peligro with a very, very good spray. 3 times M for 16. Mustafa down on his knees. BML Knight does get the elimination. They need to make the push. Mustafa must suffer. And Mustafa does suffer, taken back to the lobby. Matrix, one of the final players remaining. And these might be a cruising. X77 does get the BML at 77. And the Matrix, they do go for the push. And they do get that win. That is a W's for the BML. Be my loot. Be my man. Be my Elimza. That was a very, very good game for the BMLs. They wanted the chicken dinner and they knew what the chicken dinner meant. And they went for it. They went for it hard. They got the chicken dinner. That was a sweet one for the BMLs. Be my loot, nyam nyam, chicken dinner. It smells like victory. It smells like chicken, not KFC. This is the chicken brewing for the BMLs. That was a fantastic game. And that was it for the BMLs with a second with a chicken dinner for them, bro. They've not been playing very, very nicely. They did not play yesterday very nicely, but today they've been able to cruise and get those eliminations, 10 eliminations total, and 10 points for the chicken dinner. That is like 20 points. I think these guys will get to the top, either top 4 to 5. Honestly speaking, they'll get to the top 4 to 5. They have all the capabilities. Knight with the 1 eliminations, BML CR9 with the 4. Peligro did get the 4 eliminations, and head to head, the ZTs, they were also looking for the chicken dinner, but they got something nice. 10 eliminations is not bad, and 6 placement points because they got number 2. BMLs, Be My Loot Esports, they have the 10 eliminations. BMLs, they dominate in terms of total heals, but when it comes to the total knocks, ZTs dominate. When it comes to the total damages, ZT dominates. So they were all tied when it comes to the elimination. So there were no big man there. But the ZTs, they almost got the chicken. And for the most eliminations coming from the tactical team. And guess who? The wrong guy. Getting the 7 eliminations. Quite a good game for the wrong guy. But with 1 game left for the day number 2, who is going to win this? That will be a trendsetter. This is the Somalia Ramadan tournament. For the top players of the evening of the game number 3, wrong guy. 7 eliminations. Matrix with the 4. CR9 with the 4. Mustafa did get the 4. And finally, Peligro with the 4 eliminations. So nice seeing the BMLs with 2 of their players in the top 5 in the top 5 best players of that game. And they get the chicken. 20 points for the BMLs. ZT Esports with 16 points, and they are closing in on the 23 Legion. So this last game, if the 23 Legion might they decide like to fumble, that's it for them. Tactical team, they got the number 3, but Team Unique, CB9, Fallen, Horus Virus, Brutal Cycles, Ritzy with only 1 elimination and 1 point to their spoiler. This is not looking good. Unity of Nepal yesterday with a chicken, but today with the chicken spot. This is very, very, and this is a very ugly scene. Game number 1, Irangel. Game number 2, Rondo. Game number 3, the BMLs. They dominated and they took the chicken dinner home. Be my loot, being the bigger man in the game number 3. And for the last game of the evening, we have Erangel. But talking about the teams that have been clutching so hard, we saw the VCs, Vision Codex, with a very, very big comeback. Although they were not able to maintain that in the second game, in the third game, but the BMLs, they've been able to match up the energy. At least we've seen some other teams getting the chicken dinner. That was a nice view. BMLs, at least a chicken dinner, VCs, a chicken dinner, 23 Legion. It's all down to the last game. Who will be the man of the hour? Who will be the team that will be taking the title home? The game was nice, but the last game, this is it. Get your popcorns, get your drinks, because this is definitely going to be hot. We are coming back in just a few seconds, so stay tuned and don't change the dial. Welcome back, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've liked the stream and I hope the Ramadan tournament is taking you very, very nicely. And to all our Muslim brothers, Ramadan Mubarak. Yeah, and you invite us to where you guys are going to eat kindly. speaking for many. But anyway, let's go back to the game because we are going straight to the final game of the evening, and that is Erangel, match number 8 of this Somalia Ramadan tournament. Who will be taking that chicken dinner home? Who will be making that remontada? It's a do or die moment. If you lose right now, you lose it all. And the teams at the moment, they already know where they stand. They have their aims. We have teams aiming for the top 8. We have teams aiming for the top 3s. We have teams aiming for the top 1. And for the top 1, we have the 23 Legion ZT. And what other team? I think I'm gonna be sharing a couple of info with that with you guys about the teams that are going for the number 1, because we have the teams that the number 1 is so much far-fetched. Although if they can be able to get like 30 points, which according to the parliament is slightly very very impossible, because 30 points means that you've gotten like 20 elimination points and 10 for the chicken dinner. Last game of the evening, we have the X77 and the BPX again, expecting a clash to come from the end. Quite a popular landing place for the X77 and the BPX. We have the VCs going towards the school area, RTZ, Pain Africa, might be changing their landing grounds. Death Dose, Rashiano from the Ruthless, Shakid looking to add their numbers to their tally. And this is the game, the decider. This is the game that proves who is the best of the best. And the best for a reason. Milta already crowded by the Horus virus. They're trying to infest Milta. But already we have the ZTs. The ZTs are going for the number 1. If the ZTs are admitted right now, that is it for them. And most of the teams are in Milta Power, Milta area, 23 Legion. They're looking to get quite some eliminations. Most of the fights that the 23 Legion have been taking in Milta, most of them they've been able to win, but they have one terrible nightmare. That is Whiskey when it comes to Milta, having gotten them 1v3. But the 23 Klaus does not care about that. He just cares about that number 1. And Klaus has been set stony. Mufazi X77 having gotten Vaughn in the previous. I got the 1v2. I think the 1v2, yeah. He got the 1v2 Vaughn. They were eliminated as he was just waiting. Yeah, on the fence. Crazy esports. Just some crazy times for them. Ice Cut might be one of the few players remaining. It's only 2 players remaining from the squad, Arman and Ice Cut. And Arman, one of the few players surviving. Ice Cut iced out. And most of the time, Ice Cut is not the luckiest. Honestly speaking, Ice Cut is not the icest. He's not the luckiest. Arman already spotted, and they will be all making the push there because they have the numbers. What is needed? They just need to make that final push. Crazy. Arman, final player surviving. Are they going for the push? Are they going to get it? ZTs, they have the 3 eliminations already, looking to get a 4th elimination for their strike. And that is a good one. Arman does get the knock, and he does take one of the ZTs back home. They're trying to get him from the windows, and he is at the window stage. Almost got the knock, but unfortunately Mustafa was there. And Mustafa this time round not suffering. Mustafa must not suffer. Only the crazy esports have to suffer for their losses. Horus virus eliminated and taken back to the lobby. That is a bye-bye and a GG's for them. Crazy esports also a GG's for them. BPX on the other end already with 1 elimination, fighting against the X77. Holding their ground, holding their nerves. They know that the X77 will be trying their best to get them. The X77, they got the win in the first Erangel, but the BPX far much composed than the first game. They're trying to hold their ground with only Revo, the one moving around, trying to confuse the enemies. A very, very good and well-placed nade. Almost got the knock. But the Brutal Psychos, they know what is on the line. And he also got quite some damage. And the X77, that player should be very, very careful. Yeah, those nades are very well calculated. I think the BPX player has been, is very, very good when it comes to calculus, mathematics, angles, and sub-angles. A knock might be coming right now. And that is also quite some damage that is inflicting. Revo is quite good when it comes to these nades. Though not lucky enough to get the knocks. Mustafa getting Hancho. And Mustafa down by the 23 Tony. Whoever wins between the 23 Legion and the team ZT will have an upper hand when it comes to the game. If the 23 Legion are able to dominate the ZTs, they will be able to maintain the number one. But if the ZTs are able to dominate the 23 Legion, they will be getting that chance at the top spot. Mustafa already eliminated, and we have another tactical team fighting against the DZs, and the DZs are holding their nerve, holding their cool. They did get that elimination. And the final player from the TTs remaining, that is the Tactical Stone. Ritzy Esports, they have been raising around. And that is a good knock from the man himself, the RTZ Krishna. A perfect knock from a marksman. Saif almost got the VC. They're going for the push with the S12K in hand. BTS, they have the numbers. And the RT, oh my goodness, the RTZ are just incredible. The VCs, they go back to the lobby in a rather peculiar fashion. Down and out. X77 at the moment trying to dominate the BPX. The BPX are also getting those eliminations. And Mufazi, the final player remaining from the X77. The BPX, they have the upper hand with 3 players remaining. The BPX have to go for the push. They know that the man himself is waiting, but they are not waiting around, trying to put him on the wait list for him to go back to the lobby. Mufazi, a one-man army, does get the knock. And Mufazi reigning with the DBS, but unfortunately, Edox was there. And Edox does put that needle on the X77 and shoots to the crate. That means that they were angry enough and they were satisfied to take Milta base. And the DZ also shooting the crates. What is happening? The last game is just pure chaos. Tactical team eliminated. DZ shoot the crate. BPX eliminating the X77. The same thing. And if you can't hold your nerve, it's gonna be hard for you. The last game is a game for honor, a game for aura. And as you can see, this is what is happening. Unity of Nepal with the worst day ever, because the two has not been their best. They have been cluttered, bruised, conquered, eliminated. Everything has happened to them. Not gotten even to the top 5. Receiving some hard times. They say that the hard times never last. But for the unity of Nepal, the hard times just increasing. And the eliminations pumping, eliminations surging. And nades getting thrown. Bodies getting laid to rest. Fallen ruthless. Almost fallen ruthlessly. Swashed down. And out on with only 2 players, fallen ruthless, they have to play it cool. Today is also not their day. They have to try their best to get those placement points, try to get those eliminations, probably in the last stages of the game. Otherwise, for the fallen ruthless, these might be a GG's taking quite some shots and getting chased. They are not letting him go. Echoes. He needs to keep on moving. Otherwise, stopping might be the death of him. They are just not letting him go. Rashiano behind them. Rashiano trying to help Ikuz. He knows that Ikuz is being pursued behind, and Rashiano trying to get a very, very good spot. And Ikuz are still getting trailed. The RTZ, they are not letting anyone go with 6 eliminations already and going for Ikuz. The RTZ are very well motivated in the gameplay, motivated. They want the numbers. Currently, the RTZ, this is it for them. Their moment of reckoning, their moment of surgence. TDS. Yesterday they got a chicken dinner. Today has, I don't, the team that dominated yesterday, today they are not dominating that much. Yesterday we saw teams like dominating game 1, game 2, game 3, but today it's kind of a different page. They are more like opening a book, expecting to see a manual, only to find that it's a cookbook. That is what is happening for these teams. Yesterday they were so hot, but today they are just languishing in defeat. Russiano, the final player, remains dead. Goes Kenya Toyota with a very, very good spray, and he does get the knock, swashing. The Dragons are coming. The Dragons of the South, wings getting clipped, cannot fly. TDS finally get the death dose of a very, very good nade. And the death dose Kenya trying to get as many revives as possible with only glitched down. They have the numbers, Glitzy, Toyota, Swish. And a one by one, trying to get the Dragons of the South. The Dragons getting their wings slipped. And these might be it for the Death Dose Kenya. Death Dose Kenya with quite some strikes. And they just need a need for them to be able to pursue the Dragons of the South. The Dragons of the South with a very, very bad opening. But from behind, Unity of Nepal with the third party taking down the Death Dose Toyota. And the Unity Nepal, very, very ruthless when it comes to these third parties. Yeah, these are the teams that you fear them being behind you. Tony eliminated by the RTZ. Amar again, the RTZ. Amar is down, and the 23 Legion might be facing defeat. These might be opening up the gap. 23 Legion with only 2 players remaining. Dead those Kenya trying their best. Unity of Nepal with the third party. But no elimination has been counted. Those Glitzy eliminated by the Dragons of the South. Unity of Nepal, they went for the push. They want those eliminations. They want them now. But Abi is not letting them go. Abi almost eliminated by the nade. Abi, very, very confident. Abi asking myself the same question. Why would you go there? And the TDS, they are battering the Unity of Nepal. Unity of Nepal taken down and almost out back to the lobby with only 2 players remaining. They went for the third party, but the third party is quite insane. And the table is going to be changing. 23 Legion have just been eliminated, and they were the ones that were holding that top spot. But without the ZTs, no one can take the number 1. The ZTs was the only team that was closing in. But if Ritzi are able to get more than 20 eliminations in this game and ultimately get the chicken dinner, that might open up the number 1 spot, because they already have close to 50 points. 23 Legion, they had 80 something. So if the Ritzi esports are able to get more than 30 points in this game, they might prove to be quite a hurdle when it comes to the number 1. They might even be displacing the 23 Legion. Yeah, Ritzi esports already with 11 eliminations, and they are pushing all the teams. They do not care how many of you guys are. They just want those eliminations, and they want them now. Ritzi Saif with the push. They have the numbers. They have the motivation. Ritzi esports cooking up the nades. They want it all. A BML. Oh my goodness. 13 elimination, 14 eliminations already for the Ritzi esports. BML's languishing in defeat. BML's taken down, but Ritzi getting pushed by the Unity of Nepal. That is the DZ versus the Unity of Nepal. And the DZ are pushing the Unity of Nepal. Abi on my way. He just gets the elimination for the teammate. Unity of Nepal with the S12K, very, very lethal. It was a 2v4, but at the moment it is a 2v2 situation. They do get other knocks, a 1v2 right now. They're going for the push. They were getting preyed on. The Predators were going for them, but they are making the Predators the praise themselves. And the DZs have just been eliminated. They went for the Unity of Nepal, but the Unity of Nepal with a 2v4 battle, and they did win the battle. That was a GG's for them. Death was Kenya. Final moment of breath 15 players remaining. Ritzy Esports, 14 eliminations. They just need 6 more eliminations and a chicken dinner for them to be able to change their fate. And if they can be able to change their fate, they can be able to change a lot. Final moments of the game. 15 players still surviving. Sako closing in just a few seconds. Dose glitch. They've been inflicting the dose. And they've been upping the dose as the game has been continuing. Getting quite some eliminations. And getting quite some placement points. Yesterday, not fortunate enough to get quite some good placement points, but today they are very, very set with a very, very straight mind. TDS, the Dragons of the South, the 4 eliminations, were caught in the crossfire, but they took the unity of Nepal, 2 players down. Ritzy Esports are pushing, and the Ritzy, they won the numbers. The Ritzy Esports, they won the TDS. They are looking at the TDS and they are seeing 3 eliminations. They want to up the elimination smoke with a very, very good nade, throwing the nade, but it's a nade battle. Which nade will connect first? Ritzy Esports, TDS Kasim tries to nade, but look at Ritzy. Oh my word! They do get the elimination. TDS with only 2 players remaining. Ritzy, well composed. The Ritzy are going for the eliminations. Double digits counting. More than 30 points. Can they be able to break the deadlock? No team has been able to surpass 25 points in a game. And Zensu has to be careful. Look at those shots. And Zensu is down. Ritzy Esports, they are splendid. They are unique. They are going for the points. 15 eliminations. 15 points already. And this is not yet a chicken dinner. But the Ritzy Esports are raising up the whole lobby. They are so motivated. Going for everything. All in. Putting all their eggs in one basket. Is this going to work for the Ritzy Esports? Trying to displace the top 2 teams. Ritzy smoked. And only 2 of their players are surviving. Ritzy were fighting very, very ruthlessly. But at the moment, at the blink of despair, at the blink of annihilation, they have 17 eliminations already. They need 3 more eliminations and a chicken dinner for them to have 30 points total. And this is the love for a final game sensation coming from the Ritzy Esports. Death those Kenya, those glitch. They cannot make the push because of the numbers. Trying to secure the vehicles, trying to secure the safe zone, and trying to flank the Ritzy Esports because they don't have any other option. They have to get the play zone, and they have to get to the play zone right now. This is the Somalia Ramadan Cup Grand Finals day number 2, and is boiling up at the top. Ritzy already with 17 eliminations. Are looking to get the dead those. They have the numbers. They can get the dead those. Just get those points and they can be able to make those praise workers pray and pray. And some people will definitely be praying down on their knees. They are confident in their game. With already 6 eliminations. The man himself. And they do get the knock. They might be getting the push. And the RTZ, the Ritzy, they do get a knock. Dead those Kenya. One of their guys is down. They need to make the push, and they need to make the push right now. They have the numbers. They have the advantage. They just need to make sure that they get those eliminations. Looking to get the 20-point lead. Looking to get them, and they do get them. Look at these. Those glitch. They are still back on their feet, but the Molly does it. Those same are down. And only 1 player remaining. Glitch. Almost glitching out of the lobby. Dead those Kenya with the final player remaining from their squad. Holding his nerve, holding his belt, holding his pants, but unfortunately the pants were just pulled down by the Ritzy Esports. Ritzy are hot and they are on the verge of getting the sweetest chicken dinner ever. 19 eliminations for the Ritzy Esports with 10 players remaining. They have the numbers advantage. They just need to make sure that they don't fumble these. And it is the dying moments. Ritzy with 4, BPX with 3. Those are the teams with the most numbers. Rashiano for the Ruthless team is still surviving. Ruthless. Holding his nerve in Pochinki. BPX, they have the safe zone, trying to hold it against the RTZ. They have to be careful. The title is on the line. The cup is on the line. Ramadan tournament. PUBG Mobile Somalia. Final moments of the game. Day number 2, last game of the evening. Who will get the cream de la cream? It is a do or die moment. Who wants it more? Who wants it more? That is the question in mind. Unity Esports. No way they can afford to lose this. BPX won with quite a very, very good spray. But BPX won is very, very low. And Rizzi almost went for the knock. But unfortunately, Revo was there. And Revin, almost eliminated by quite some good strikes from the RTZ. And the RTZ might be going for the BPX. Vaughn was down when it comes to the health, but they are back up. Rizzi losing one player. Karshna still down, but they can get the revive of Revo. He's trying to get that nade. And that perfect elimination. Revo, he's a nade master, a nade god. And almost got the knock. He does get the finish. Brutal Psychos, they might be it. RTZ have to be careful. Dominations from Revo with the 3 elimination. They have to trace back the steps. They have to make sure that they have the composure. They have the numbers. They have everything. It's all in a plate. A silver platter. They can't afford to lose the game. BPX, already 5 eliminations. Trying to get the safe spots. Brutal Psychos, unfortunately. Edox getting eliminated by the players. And the RTZ is still not elimination. Making it 20 eliminations for the RTZ. 20 eliminations and a chicken dinner. That is a 30 bomb for them. So if trying to get the play zone, RTZ smoke is down, but the BPX won. But the chicken dinner right now becoming a rather nightmare for the RTZ. And Saif is down. The RTZ bottle in the league with only Tracer remaining. He needs to trace back his steps. The BPX have the numbers advantage. Tracer, they have the elimination advantage, but unfortunately, who wants it more? The BPX, they do want it more. And the RTZ are eliminated. BPX looking to clinch their first chicken dinner of the finals with 2 players. It is down to a 2v2v1. Rashiano, the only player that has been surviving for the Ruthless team. They have 8 eliminations. Being the better team in the final game when it comes to eliminating the RTZ. And it's the final moment. The BPX, Unity of Nepal, Fallen Ruthless. Who will take the win home? Who will get those grand points? If the Fallen Ruthless are able to get the chicken dinner, that will elevate them probably to the top 3 or the top 2. It's a matter of chances. It's a matter of talent. It's a matter of position and skill. Who has it all? Unruly Hunt are still in the safe. Just holding. Begging. Rashiano. Now this is one of the pro strats just lying down. He is not snaking. This is a pro strategy of getting that chicken dinner. Rashiano has to be careful. B has to be careful. Hunter has to be careful. Revo, they have to be careful. Von, they have to be careful. Who is going to take that chicken dinner at 2v2v1? Right now, the only thing that Rashiano is praying for, Rashiano is just praying for the BPX to clash with those Unity of Nepal. If they clash, he has the advantage because he has the backshots. If the Unity of Nepal are able to win against the BPX, he has the backshot advantage. No one knows he's there. No one knows he's there. And guys, I just need a moment of silence right now. Everyone, a moment of silence as we watch magic happened. Rashiano just removed his clothes, just trying to act invincible. A moment of silence. Shh, just for 10 seconds, because the play zone is shrinking and is shrinking in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rashiano from the back and trying to get the unity of Nepal. Rashiano cooking up a need, and Rashiano almost got the knock. He does not know that he is here. Rashiano is trying to need. No one knows where Rashiano is. Rashiano just has to play it cool, try to get that elimination and try to get to the play zone as fast as he can. Rashiano with a good need. Rashiano trying to rush to the lobby. And Rashiano does get a knock, and Rashiano hunting down, but Rashiano eliminated. Abi does get Rashiano is a 2v1. BPS, they have the upper hand. They have the two players. A 2v1 situation, Abi trying to fight against the BPX. Does get the one elimination, but Abi on my way. BPX getting that first chicken dinner. Champions of the last game. They came, they saw. That is why they are called the Brutal Cycles, having eliminated the best team in the game. That was the Ritzy Esport that got 20 eliminations. But who are the BPX? They are those eliminators. They are the assassins. They wanted the chicken better. They were hungry for the chicken. They were smelling the chicken. They were smelling the spices. And the Ritzy Esports, they just made the chicken easy for the BPX. The BPX with a very good chicken dinner from the blink of despair, elation, and from the catastrophe, catabolic joy, the staff of stellar champions. That is why the BPX are always a sensation to watch and even to fathom. BPX won with the 4 eliminations. Edox with the 1. We have Revo with the 4. And they do get the 9 eliminations and a certain dominance in the last game of the evening for the day number 2. And ultimately for the grand finale. Right now, I'm just waiting to see how the table is going to be like, how the table is going to be boiling. But that has been a good game. Looking at the Ritzy Esports, their first ever team to get 20 eliminations in the Somalia Ramadan Cup. 20 eliminations. They didn't get the chicken dinner, but you know what? 20 eliminations, that is quite a good hurdle. You know, 20 points. They won the head over head versus the BPX, and for the MVP, none other than the man himself, Crispy. Although he did not get the chicken dinner, yeah, the BPX, they got the crispy chicken. Yeah, the Alpa Crispy got the MVP with the 7 eliminations, with quite some damage. A good game. And that is how you make a name. Ritzy, BPX, most elimination. These are our top players. We have Crispy with the 7. RTZ, Artist Baby with the 4 eliminations. We have Saif with the 5. Revo with the 4. And the RTZ IC4 with the 4 eliminations. Funny thing, out of all the top players, only one player is not from the RTZ, and that is Revo. That is Revo. Revo is the only player that is not in the RTZ that made it to the top player list. And for the match rankings, Ritzy Esports, they get the most points. 24 points for the Ritzy Esports. Just imagine if these guys got the chicken dinner. If they had the chicken dinner, that would be a majestic 30 points. Brutal Cycles taking in second, 19 points. Unity of Nepal with 11. Fallen Ruthless taking the number 4. All because of the man himself, Rashiano, with quite a good game. Rashiano, GG's, Dragons of the South, but Pain Africa, Team Unique, CB9, Horus Virus, Vision Codex, X77, Tactical Team, with a very, very big donut. A very nice game for all the teams that participated in the Somalia Ramadan tournament. The game was awesome. And for the second runners-up, Ritzy Esports, that game, the last game was very fundamental. Ritzy Esports, they just got the second runners-up in the Somalia Ramadan tournament, guys. A big and a huge hand clap for the Ritzy. That final game, that was their moment. That was their moment. They say that when your moment comes, no one can stop it. And the Ritzy moment was here, and they clinched the second runners up. Bro, they tried. They tried. Look it, they were at position 7. Right now, second runners up. Bro, that is a huge. Ritzy Esports are very huge GGs, man. That is a huge GG. ZTs, they maintained. They maintained. They maintained. They maintained. Quite a GGs to the ZTs. They maintained their second position. And they get the 82 points. They had the placement points 26, elimination 56, and they got the one chicken dinner. But GGs, man. GGs to all the teams, man. Ritzy with the number 3. Runners up, we had the ZT Esports. Congratulations for these grand win. And I know the moment that you all are waiting for is here. Who are the champions of the Somalia Ramadan Cup? And the champions are the 23 Legions. They take the win and they assert dominance. That is how you make it from Somalia. 23 Legions, 2 chicken dinners, 62 elimination, 33 placement points, 95 total points for the 23 Legion. Their time of reckoning, their time of accomplishment, their time of the champions. They made the championship happen and they came for it. Although the last game was not that good, but they knew their position. They knew what they needed to do. Just hold their position, get a couple of points. And this is the staff of Stellar Champions. W's for the 23 Legion as they take Somalia back to the top and as they take their squad. 23 Amar, an unstoppable machine. 23 Amar. This guy is the death machine, the man himself with the 23 eliminations. 23 Legions, bro. Imagine 23 elimination. That is 23 single points, solo points for the man. Total damage, that 3,827. 20 total knocks, bro. This is the OG. This is the MVP for a reason. And this is the reason Ramadan tournament, Ramadan Cup has been it because of the 23 Amar becoming the top player of the 2026 one. 23 Amar, the top player. But look at Tony. Tony was following closely with 21 eliminations. So quite a balanced team. Looking at the 23 Amar and the 23 Tony. The two of them, they gave the 23 Legion 44 points. Take this to the bank. Legion, they had 95. And these guys, they gave 44. Yes. I will not say anymore. Artist Baby, the 16. Zensu with the 16. And finally, the BML Knight with the 17 eliminations. These are the top 5 players. And GG's. And this is the final table. And these are your champions. 23 Legions with the 95 good points. Ritzy with a clutch that takes them to the number 3. Unity of Nepal, they tried, but unfortunately have to hold the number 4. BMI Lutz taking the number 5. Fallen Ruthless, falling down, taking the 61. But that was, they could have gone far behind because they were almost eliminated, courtesy of Rashiano, who was able to get the 6 points for the Ruthless team. Dragons of the South taking the number 7, Vision Codex X77, 8 and 9 respectively. For the teams that are holding the table down, we have the Team Unique with only 4 points in 8 games. Dark Zone Esports, CB9, Horus Virus infested with the virus. Crazy Esports getting some crazy time. Pain Africa having felt the pain. A tactical team have to rethink their tactics. Dead those Kenya, they brought the dose. Unfortunately, they drank it themselves. Brutal Psychos, and they won a game, but GG's for them. If the Brutal Psychos had not won the last game, that would have proven to be very, very bad. And if Dead those had begun with the same momentum as today, I believe Dead those would not be there. They would have been in almost top 5, top 6, or even top 2. But things happen and the champions are set. And for the games that we played today, the first game being Erangel, 23 Legion taking that chicken dinner with 19 points. Game number 2, Vision Codex with 24 total points. We had the game number 3, Miramar, with the BMLs dominating their lot, getting the 20 points. And finally, we have the BPX taking that Erangel winner out of the hands, out of the mouths of the Ritzy Esports. One word for these tournaments, just one word: insane! This has been insane last day. I've loved every single thing that has happened, that has transpired. Having looking at the charts, we have the guys that are watching at home. You guys have made this tournament what it is right now. To all the players that have been playing the tournament, GG's, man. It has been awesome. You guys sending your hearts out. We have all the teams. Whether you lost, just take these as a learning. Can I say learning step? Yeah, we move by learning. If you don't learn, you don't move. And GG's to everyone that has played. We've had teams that have had some very hard times, but don't worry, we still have other tournaments. Just keep in check PUBG Mobile Somalia. Other tournaments are coming for you to be able to redeem yourself. Just become better. Don't become worse. And GG's, congratulations to the 23 Legions. You guys have set the temple and have made a very, very clean strike. And congratulations, man. I just have to say that. And for Ritzy Esports, I know you guys are rather disappointed by the last game results, but you know what? That was better than not getting where you are, because 20 eliminations, you guys have broken quite a record, because no team has been able to get 20 eliminations in these grand finales. So you guys are the first. So set that record in paper. Take note of everything that is happening, man. And it has been a GG's, man. Everyone that has been here, thank you so much. My name is the PTK Young Blood. But don't be fooled by the name. I am not the young, but I am the man himself, the man Young Blood. You guys can follow me on my socials. That is YouTube PTK Africa, Instagram PTK Africa. Yeah, those are our main socials. I'm also a streamer. And as we keep on pushing, I hope we keep on pushing it as a team. PUBG Mobile Africa, PUBG Mobile Somalia today has been incredible. This has been the Somalia Ramadan Cup. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next tournament.